Hello, everybody. My name is Tebo Nkwani, and I'm the National Fundraising and Marketing Officer for Girls and Boys Town, South Africa. I've got a fabulous idea here that has actually inspired me for many years. Well, of course, coming from many, many years ago, um, that I wish I thought of. It's basic, simple idea that was given to me and my colleagues then at a drama school by our mentor, drama mentor. His name was Mr. Paul Monama, who sadly passed on a couple of years ago, and may his soul rest in peace. Um, what he had, he once told us that he had to take a bunch of kids, and these kids were his drama group at the time, young kids between the ages of, we can say, 6 and 12 to 15 years. He had to take them out to, because they were performing as a powerful group at that time, and he being coming from overseas to learn drama, and now coming back and to, teach young people the art form of drama through dramatic arts. They were doing numerous performances around, and got a big opportunity to actually take his group back where he studied in Massachusetts, to perform in a competition where they would actually win a substantial amount of money. And he said that at that time it was very difficult, to raise funding to take these kids into this particular prestigious competition. And they went out in around the city of Johannesburg, as big as it is, and also the city of Pretoria, where he stayed. And they performed around. They had to perform around for the people, for the groups of people around the corners, around the malls. At that time in the 90s, it was shopping centers and stuff. And they had to go around and do that type of a thing and perform for people, numerous people. And they performed. I mean, this was kids that were young, but they were there going out every, half in the afternoons. They would go out after school and perform, and they were running around and they were making some money. And as they were performing, obviously people will, be inspired by them. Kids doing fantastic things, and they'll donate money to them. And this went on for a couple of days because they had only a month before they had to take their flight to the US to perform for a competition. So they went on and on and went on and on and perform, and they managed to raise some funding, from people who loved the piece, who loved the kids, expressing themselves and their talent and doing fantastic work. And but most of all, kids excited to want to go overseas now, first time or on a plane, that type of a thing. It was an exciting thing that people wanted to get involved in. That's what they performed. They performed pieces and snippets, like 5-minute pieces, wherever there were groups of people. And they even went in to perform, for the companies during break times and lunch times. He organized for these things for the kids to go and perform in exchange for some monies, 1,000 rand or something like that, or so, just for them to be able to make some money, for the kids to be able to go and realize their dream. So this paid off. This actually paid off, but they still had a problem. They still had to raise more funding, because that wasn't matching up. So they went on to their communities. They went on to the suburbs around, and they did what they called a fundraising door-to-door campaign. They went to fundraising, to actually, they want to raise funding through door-to-door campaigns where they asked for one rate, which is equivalent to, actually they asked for 10 rates, which is equivalent to $1. $1 per house for so many houses. They went door to door because they were like a big group of 15 or 20 kids or so. And through that campaign, they managed to make something out of it. They managed to make something out of it, and then were able to, as a result, book their flight tickets to go and perform in the US. How exciting was that? That I would call uh, fundraising hardcore, or you can call it hardcore fundraising because it's like the basic. I mean, how many times now we can just sit in our offices and to make a telephone call or send emails to 15,000 people now and get half of them donating substantial money, so debit orders and committing to something like that or giving you money. That was not there back then in the 90s. They had to go and do what I call, fundraising hardcore or hardcore fundraising. And that was usually successful. And that, I think, is a fabulous idea that worked for them that I think we can still utilize it today and, do those door-to-door campaigns in a very strategic way and see what we can actually do and make out of it. People are still able to give. And I think the most important thing about this is that people were able to open not only their wallets or their purses, but they were able to open their hearts, you know, because the kids were genuine and were excited. And therefore, in that instance, they were able to make the children's dream come true. We can still do this. This is a wonderful idea, don't you agree? I wish I'd thought of that. Thank you. Here are my contact details.